when it just makes sense. It's your red-pilled brown girl searching for the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl when it just makes sense. It's your red-pilled brown girl getting to the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl.
It's your red-pilled brown girl.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Crystal. It's your fat-filled brown girl coming at you. Oh my God, y'all, I was avoiding this. I was really avoiding this whole gubernatorial race, but I guess because it's getting closer, it's down to the wire. My president is talking about it. That I have to talk about it. You know what? I need to just change. Let me change my title, y'all. I'm gonna change the title. Gubernatorial race. Hold on. VA Virginia governor race. Winsome. Sears. Let me just update it, y'all. Because this is what I'm talking about. I tried to avoid it for various reasons, okay? Now hear me out. Y'all know I'm gonna give you the real. Hear me out. So with the governor's race, look, I'm getting real comfortable. The governor's race is a very important one. Virginia is hot, okay? Virginia is very close to the White House, of course. So like the Northern Virginia area is like full of nothing but people that work for the government. I used to work there and I loved it. Um Also Virginia has a lot of electoral college votes. Like, it's very crucial in that regard. And then it's also they say it's kind of purple, but it's not really purple. In that Northern Virginia area, it has like most of the amount of like the collective state. I mean, like it's huge. And it's also a lot of immigrants there. Like a lot, to the point where they got like signs in Mandarin, they got signs in Spanish. I mean, like you go in the Northern Virginia area, you got to find English. You got to be like, "Hold on. Where is English?" So it's very like heavily populated with immigrants, which is fine, y'all. I told you I am the child of an immigrant. So I have no issues with that. But like, so it's really, really heating up. President Trump came out and he kind of endorsed in my boy's way. He kind of endorsed Winsome. And okay, full disclosure, y'all, I like Winsome Sears. Like, she is a patriot. She is a soldier. She is gun toting. She is, like, I like her, like, as a person. I actually got a chance to meet her, I think, twice. She is very well spoken. She is very poised and elegant and smart. Like she's got like that kind of she's even got the Jamaican accent going on. Like, I like Winsome. But it was kind of like a lot of controversy around the fact that President Trump wasn't campaigning for her. Like, President Trump wasn't going out there and actively campaigning for the black girl. And everybody made it about race, y'all. Everybody made it about the fact that she was a black girl. Everybody made it about, oh, President Trump is racist and he don't want to support her. Well, anybody that knows President Trump is loyal. So anybody that supports President Trump, he will support them, right? That's just the way that he works. With that being said, Winsome, we gotta have a talk. Winsome, girlfriend, I love you. I think you are amazing. However, you know what? I tell you what. I'll save my criticism later. I'll save it because I'm just not going to do that right now. What I will say and talk about this whole gubernatorial race is I love this for us. When I say us, who do I mean? I mean Black Republicans. Oh my God. Y'all, let's roll the clip. Let's roll the clip and I will explain to you why I love this whole thing about Winsome Sears and the Democratic white girl that's running. I love this for us. Here we go. Here we go. Let me share my screen because this is key. This is very important, y'all. So
A shout out to Richmond, Virginia. I just got back from there. It was a wonderful time. The show sold out. It was great. Had a wonderful time. But I got a chance to watch the gubernatorial debate in Virginia between Abigail Spanberger and Winsome Sears. And the first thing I thought is, I didn't know James Brown was trying to be governor of Virginia. This was a moment that, to me, one of the moments that stood out in the debate was when candidate Sears said this.
Solar and wind. Well, if you look outside,
baby. Ooh, can we roll that back?
Abigail Spanberger and Winsome Sears. And the first thing I thought is, I didn't know James Brown was trying to be governor of Virginia. This
No.
was
No, he did not. No, he did not. Talk about the black girl and her hair. Did you see? First of all, I didn't laugh because it wasn't, honestly, y'all, it just wasn't funny. He's not funny. DL, you need to go back to comedy. But you weren't even all that great with that, to be honest. I mean, you all right. I mean, I think Steve Harvey's way funnier. I think Chris Rock is way funnier. DL, I had a lot of respect for DL, but he's just so he's not respectable anymore. He's just not. He's not funny. He's in politics. He's literally like female energy, and here he is with this black woman and him talking about her hair and call her James Brown, says she looks like James Brown. If y'all haven't figured out that the jig is up, okay? The jig is up. If it was not if it wasn't up before, y'all, the jig should be up. These people literally kowtow for the Democrat Party. I mean, like, if it's not evident ever before, it should be now. And you know what, y'all? I love this for Black Republicans because they was reaming us in 2024 and 2025 when we was not with the ditzy black girl or Indian girl or whatever she was. She was saying she was black, but Kamala Harris, you know she struggles, right? She don't know what she is. But they were reaming us because we did not support the black candidate when honestly what they wanted was us to support the Democrat candidate. And now we have it here. We have a black gubernatorial candidate and a white gubernatorial candidate. Not only is she white, she's female white. So we have apples and apples. We have two women, y'all. And the Democrats, not only are they saying, not the celebrities, not only are they saying go with the white female, they are insulting the black candidate, insulting her, saying she looks like James Brown. What the? Y'all don't say nothing else to me about supporting President Trump. Please don't. Please don't. Because y'all have made it very clear in this right here has made it very clear that y'all care about interest. Y'all care about alliances. Y'all care about allegiance to the Democrat Party. And whenever the brown skins, whether they be Byron Donald or Kim Klacik, whenever they decide that they don't want to be on the Democrat side, and they want to be a Republican, y'all jump ship. I love this for me. I can support who I want to support. I can support who I have allegiance to, regardless of skin color. Every Black Republican should be happy about it. This is great news. Great news. The cat is out of the bag. The jig is up. Y'all support the Democrats. Period. That is on period. This is crazy, y'all. He talked about her hair. Y'all, let's keep going.
That to me, one of the moments that stood out in the debate was when candidate Sears said this.
Solar and wind. Well, if you look outside, the sun isn't shining and the breeze isn't blowing. And then what, Abigail? What will you do?
The first thing I thought about when I saw this is when Charlie Kirk talked about this.
Joy.
First of all, you're an idiot, DL. DL on the down low. DL on the DL. You're a moron. What she's saying is, let me break it down for you because you don't seem to understand because you're on the Democrat side. Solar and wind, we use way more energy than solar and wind can sustain. Okay? What are we gonna do after the wind is not blowing and the sun is not shining? Solar and wind cannot sustain the amount of consumption that Americans use in energy. That's a fact. So for him to say that something that she said, oh, this is what stood out to me. This was funny. And with Charlie Kirk, let's see what he says about Charlie Kirk. This man is a moron. Not only is he an idiot, he's also dishonest. You remember we talked about that last week, right? These people do not care about Black people. They don't. They don't. They only care about Democrats. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Talked about this.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
It says a lot that the right maligns the intellect of Michelle Obama, of Joy Reid, of Jasmine Crockett, and this is the one who they think is above reproach. This is the one who they hang their star on. Another moment that I thought.
First of all, DL, we never said that she was above reproach. Y'all said Black women are above reproach. Y'all reproach any Black woman that decides that they don't want to be a Democrat. Okay? Like, y'all said that Black women above reproach. Second of all, Winsome Sears is very well accomplished, very educated. She was a successful lieutenant governor, and she can stand 10 toes down with the likes of Michelle Obama, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She can stand 10 toes down with them. You just don't like that ideologically she is not aligned with what you want and what the Democrat Party has assigned for you to care about this week. DL is a disgrace. Let's keep going. It's so amazing to me. Let's keep going.
It was very interesting when Abigail Spanberger said this about Mrs. Sears.
The opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that she is
discrimination.
That is classic discrimination. Classic. When you use whatever power you have to make sure that somebody can't get a job or loses a job or can't get anything because of the way you feel about something they're doing, the color of their skin, their religion, their sexuality, that is classic discrimination.
Fool. DL. She said they should not be allowed to get married. She didn't say that you should discriminate against them. She didn't say that they should lose their job. She didn't say that they should be attacked in any kind of way. DL, and because you're probably on the DL, you probably don't understand the way marriage works, the reasons why the government incentivizes people to get married. It is because married people, or we hope married people, get together and make other little people so that they can fund the economy, fund the government. And mind you, everybody who gets married doesn't have kids. Some people can't have kids. But that was the whole reason that they incentivized married people to incentivize people to get married and have babies, because it helps form the future and helps make little people to raise them right in a good household that they can become workers, right? So her saying that she doesn't believe that gay people should get married, she is 100% right. She said that's not discrimination to say that. There are plenty of black men. You say that you care about black men and you speak for black men. There's plenty of black men that think that gay people shouldn't be allowed to get married. That's not anything that's foreign. We talk about that at the dinner table. Like, you talk about dinner table issues, barbershop issues. Black men do not believe in gay marriage as a whole. They believe you can do whatever you want to do. They believe that whatever you want to do in your private bedroom is your business. But black men overall don't really support gay marriage, and that's not even controversy in the black community. That's not even like, oh, you said that. So what she said is that's not discrimination to say that they don't want to get married. But she never said that you should hurt them, that they should lose their job. So you see how they do the okey doke on you, right? You see how they do the okey doke.
And I know that candidate Sears knows something about discrimination, because it's fairly obvious that she discriminates against a hot comb.
That was so funny, DL. You still got it, sir. It wasn't even funny. Discriminate against a hot comb. Oh, first you're supposed to use the natural. Then the black girl's supposed to do the natural. Now she don't use a hot comb. Now she look like James Brown. All these things, y'all. If Winsome Sears had chosen to be a Democrat, they would be losing their absolute mind. Do you not understand how the jig is up, y'all? The jig is up. Black people have I have already been telling you that black people lie. Black people are dishonest. That's just the truth. Oh, white people are too. We get it. But I'm telling you that in this situation, it is totally proven that black people would rather go with a white woman, Spanberger, just because she's a Democrat. And not only are they saying, hey, I think I like Spanberger's policies better, they're insulting the black woman. Y'all, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. King of the dashikis, let's go to Roland Martin. You can't make this. You cannot make this up, y'all. And I love this for black Republicans, because you're basically saying that you're going for your interests. And so we're saying with President Trump, white as white can be, blonde-headed, Amazonian. What do you call, like, President Trump is white. White. And we like him. Just like y'all like Spam Burger. I'm just glad that it's even. I'm glad that it's even. Here we go. Let's watch this fool. It asks Spam Burger this question, which I just think is so interesting.
Ryan at UVA, who he's a white man, but he put in place
Hold on.
important
Hold on.
values.
The black boy
so
is getting ready to ask.
Put a lot of black women and black people out of.
So Roland Martin, he is the spokesperson for the black bourgeoisie. The black bourgeoisie. He is the spokesperson for all the blacks, for the boulets. He is going to this white girl, white, blonde. Mind you, I ain't got no problems with Spam Burger. Vote for who you want to, girl. Brother man, vote for who you want to. You can vote for the white blonde because I'm going to vote for my white blonde. I'm going to vote for my white, blonde, tall, glass of milk, smart. That's my boy. So y'all go ahead. This is yours. You got it. But please stop lecturing me about blacks. Here we go.
Of work.
Well, Roland, I want to begin by thanking you. I know you're headed to Virginia very soon to campaign with Speaker Scott and support so many of our candidates who are running for the House of Delegates, incredible candidates who are going to flip their seats. And the issue that you were raising of, the first round of DOGE and now the impact that we are feeling of DOGE essentially 2.0 right now is devastating to Virginia's economy and to Virginians. And so before I get to the what am I going to do about it, the first piece of it is that right now we have a governor and a lieutenant governor who are saying nothing. Since January, when the assault on the federal workforce began, they have said nothing. They have justified it. They have said everybody loses their jobs from time to time. And they have not stood up for Virginians and for their livelihoods. And the impact.
That's just not true. That's not true. What they have said is no one owes you a government job. What people are not talking about is that the economy is doing fantastic because not only did DOGE cut government federal workers, but y'all, these federal workers got like months and like 12 months of severance. A lot of them got to go to other jobs. They're doing fine, okay? And people do lose their jobs sometimes. That's not what Winsome Sears was saying because it affects them if they're losing their jobs. However, this is what they do. They lie, they make up. But hold on, you got to hear him ask the white girl about racism. Oh no, here we go. Their white savior. Here we go.
And so, what specifically are we talking about?
Well, and so looking at what Governor Moore has done is
What specifically are you looking to do to help government workers who have lost their jobs because of MAGA and DOGE, but also just broadly African Americans who are being the tax on anti-DEI that's put a lot of black women and black people out of work?
Well, Roland, I want to begin by thanking you. I know you're headed to Virginia very soon to campaign with Speaker Scott and support so many of our candidates who are running for the House of Delegates, incredible candidates who are going to flip their seats. And the issue that you were raising of, the first round of DOGE and now the impact that we are the Dean of the Agriculture Department, everybody's fantastic. I hope you enjoy your time there. But we have seen, and that's to the detriment of that student, to the detriment of the HBCUs, but I would argue to the detriment of kind of Virginia as a larger entity, and ultimately down the road an economy.
Last question for you. Obviously, Democrats want to sweep all statewide seats. You're running for governor. You've got folks running for lieutenant governor. You got Jay Jones running for attorney general. African American, had him on the show as well.
Is this still a unified ticket? Do you still stand with him with all of this, with this text messaging controversy? I'm hearing from black voters out there. They saw how Democrats stood behind Ralph Northam. They saw what happened to Justin Fairfax. And so do state or Virginia Democrats, are you still unified standing with Jay Jones as a unified ticket running in November?
Y'all, look, hold on. Y'all see the disdain he has for her? And this is why I say, white people, I hate this for y'all. I do. Because she is having to kowtow to him in order to get the black people on her side. But mind you, all she needed to do was register as a Democrat and become the Democratic, and she would have gotten their support. But he literally has disdain for her. He can't stand her. And he's trying so hard to be like, okay, you're the Democrat, so I have to support you. But he cannot say, do y'all see his face? He does not like her at all. They can't stand her. And she is kowtowing. And now they're getting ready to ask, are you standing with the candidate who made very poor, dangerous text messages saying that people should be unalived and their kids should be unalived? And she is having to embarrass herself going to these black leaders who don't like her at all and basically count. Like, look, are you seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? Hold on, let me see. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Thank you for the super chat. Matt, thank you for the super chat. Oh my God. Ryan, you said I'm dumbfounded how Roly Poly can just show his face after being busted with. Ooh, I did not know that. Yikes. I need to find that. I did not know that. I'm going to come back to that, Ryan. But y'all, this is crazy. Look at his face. He cannot stand her because he don't like white people. He's a racist. He is a racist, and he is stuck between a rock and a hard place because he has to vote Democrat, and he don't like this girl.
Well, I would note, and this was some time ago, but at the time, there were many of us who had put calls on the governor then to step aside. As it relates to the current circumstance with Jay Jones, when the text messages first came out, I had a conversation, a good conversation with Jay, where I spoke very frankly, and he spoke very frankly. And to his credit, he spoke very clearly about these text messages, about the fact that, I think he said that they made him sick to his stomach to go back and read. And for me, I very publicly denounced them. I found them to be, abhorrent, and particularly at a time in this moment where we've seen heightened violent rhetoric, and certainly we have seen politically motivated murders and throughout the summer. More recently, it's incredibly important that everyone be, very clear-eyed in our denunciation of any violent rhetoric. And again, he has apologized. He has stated that so plainly. Notably, the Republicans who just made this information available held on to it for years and years and years. And so if they had wanted to make this known earlier, I question their motives in waiting until October. And importantly, as I mentioned at the debate with my opponent, on the Democratic side of the aisle, we will denounce violent rhetoric, whether it is our friends or our political opponents who are uttering it. And importantly, on the other side of the opponent, or whether it's Jay's opponent, they will only denounce the violent rhetoric when it comes from Democrats. And, even my opponent routinely calls me her enemy. And it's the type of rhetoric that I think, not to mention, of course, everything that the president says on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And so, Virginia voters know what's at stake. We're all campaigning hard, and we're going to win, and we're going to sweep our statewide seats. We're going to flip all three of them. And then we're going to work hard and do the things that we promised to do. And I think there's an earnestness and an importance when we hear someone who, recognizes that they, made a mistake, or they said something they shouldn't have said, or even when taken out of context, that, I think Jay's willingness to take accountability and be very clear-eyed about it it speaks to his character. And I think that as Virginians are going about making, their decisions about who to vote for, they'll take that into account, and they'll look at who has stood up for them and who has not. And the role of Attorney General it's a decisive and important one.
Y'all, do y'all see how fake this is? So she says that she is willing to denounce exactly a whole buffer. Exactly. She is willing to denounce violent rhetoric when it comes on their side, but we are not willing to denounce violent rhetoric. First of all, let's be honest, y'all. The violence is coming from one side. That's just the truth. I mean, you could say whatever you want. You could say, oh, Republicans are violent too. We're not. We might make jokes. We might be offensive. Let me tell you, Republicans are like the ghetto black people when it comes to offensive stuff. We just are. Republicans are not politically correct. We probably might make jokes that everybody don't think that is funny. But when it comes to violence, we're not wishing death on people. We're not screaming and shouting our abortion. This man says, this guy, so Jay Jones is the Republican, he is the Democratic Attorney General, said about the Republican delegate. He said Gilbert gets 2 BULLETSs. Are you serious? Then he says he wish he would have that he wished that Gilbert's wife, Jennifer, would have to hold their dying children in her arms. This is what he said. Because he is breeding little fascists. So he was saying that the children of this Republican delegate is breeding fascists, and so he should have to hold his dying children. What Republican y'all know going to say that kind of stuff? Republicans might make jokes about grab them by the, and y'all literally ream Republicans for it. We beat in the head. We get beat down for the littlest, simplest, offensive jokes that we say. And this man says this kind of stuff, and she's just walking around. Oh, we have no problem denouncing. We have no problem denouncing. No, we don't want you denouncing it. We want you to ream him just like you did President Trump for saying women who like powerful men will let them do anything. That's the truth. That's the truth. But saying that you want somebody to hold their dying children because they're fascists or they're breeding fascists is just unacceptable. Like, who says that? Who even talks like that? What normal person talks like that? What normal human being talks like that? And that's why I said these Democrats, they're not normal. They're dishonest. They will lie at they will lie for anything, for power. They want power, y'all. And it's crazy that he would sit here. Y'all, you should just see his racist behind. Like he is trying his best not to show how much he can't stand this girl.
I've been to a lot of them. Tennessee is $2.1 billion. But this is a perfect example of one of the reasons HBCUs have been underfunded, because they were cheated out of land grant money that was supposed to go to them that went to predominantly white institutions. So if you win, I hope that becomes a priority to put it in the budget for them to fund Virginia State and give them that money.
That is a priority. And as you're going to Virginia State, I would say one more thing, just as an incredible example, I think, for the rest of the country. Virginia State and Virginia Tech in recent years have begun working together in a partnership that is extraordinary, that benefits Virginia Tech, that benefits Virginia State, and most importantly, benefits agriculture research across the Commonwealth of Virginia. And it is a model for the rest of the country. That is in no way to kind of look past the historical funding challenges that Virginia State has faced and the realities of what that means today. But I do think that Virginia State is an extraordinary example of what partnership between universities, between land grant universities, can be, and hopefully into the future, we'll see other states following that incredible example.
We didn't cover tonight, but I'm definitely going to get to Black-owned businesses on Thursday, and that's also a huge priority of mine as well. And those state contracts, that's critically important.
These Black people are just so stupid. You are comparing Virginia State University to Virginia Tech and why Virginia State gets less money than Virginia Tech. Let me tell you, let me do a simple Google search. Virginia State versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech. Y'all, get your uncle. Get him. He is so stupid. He is trying to compare Virginia Tech and the funding that Virginia Tech gets versus Virginia State. If you could just Google it. Virginia Tech has a significantly larger undergraduate population compared to Virginia. Hold on. No. They said Virginia. No, Virginia State University. Hold on. Hold on. The Google. Virginia State University has approximately 5,129 undergraduate students. 5,129 versus 38,000 undergraduate students. Do you see how stupid Black people are, y'all? Do you see how stupid? How are you going to compare an institution that has 5,000 undergraduate students to one that has 38,000 undergraduate? Where would you put your priorities if you were the state leader? And she's sitting there, and it is exhausting. It really is, Ryan. She's sitting there, and I know she wants to say, "Are you kidding me?" But she can't, and he can't stand her. He can't stand her. He can't stand her, and she probably is thinking, how do I tell this man that Virginia Tech has not double, not triple, not quadruple, but Virginia Tech has 33,000 more students than Virginia State has. Where are we? How are we comparing these two? Dummy? I'll say it for you, Spamberger. Since y'all don't have, the white girls don't have enough guts. That's why President Trump, that's why y'all don't like President Trump. He would say, are you, well, I mean, considering the fact that Virginia State has significantly more people, I mean, we'll try to help Virginia State, but I mean, Virginia Tech has significantly more people. They would not like what President Trump would answer. They wouldn't like how he would answer that, y'all. Because he can't fake, he can't lie. He's not going to lie to you guys. Well, I mean, I'm sure, about this kind of stuff. This is crazy. She is Spamberger. This is what you're going to deal with. This is what you're going to deal with, girlfriend. So you can try if you want to, try as you want. But I just think that this is rich, that the Black girl is being insulted. Winsome Sears is being insulted, treated poorly, talked about, and they are propping up the white girl. Like I said, I love this for us because we don't have to vote for the Black girl. We can vote for our own white guy, President Trump. Trump 2028, baby. Why does that make people so mad? He be triggering people when he say that. Oh my God, but it's so funny. Okay. Enough of that, y'all. So what we're getting ready to talk about now is the meltdown about my boy and his ballroom. Now, I asked Chat GPT, y'all, and Chat said that President Trump can only build the White House can only build the ballroom if he got the appropriate permits and the appropriate permission and Congress and all of this stuff, right? I'm assuming that he did, and if he didn't, so what? Y'all, look at this. This is why I really think that people, anything that the man does, they're gonna have a problem with. Anything that he does, they are going to have a problem with it. Y'all, look, somebody look at this. I don't know where I'm going. Hold on. Anything he does. Here we go.
Every time the top people come over from China, they're getting these big, beautiful, they put a tent on the White House. We don't have a ballroom at the White House. I offered, by the way, Jerry, years ago to build a ballroom at the White House, free of charge, $100 million ballroom. I said, we'll get the top 5 architects in America. We'll get the top people, top everything. We'll have the best ballroom, because I noticed they always put tents up on the lawn. Number one, it's not a good security thing. Number two, the guy that owns the tents is making a fortune, okay? This poor guy, I mean, he's making so much money. All he needs is one tent.
Y'all, you gotta love President Trump, but it's true. So he's basically saying that I don't mind that the person who's providing the tent is making money. Do whatever you want. But President Trump is a builder, y'all. I think that it would be awful if he didn't use his talent, which is building. I mean, like, he built Trump. He's built all his life to improve upon something like the White House, something so special. And mind you, it's not something that he's going to own. It's something that he's doing for the American people. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And they're still making a problem about it.
And he charges them so much, he's making a fortune. All right. But I said, I will build a ballroom. I gave it to the Obama. I actually told David Axelrod, a good guy, very capable guy. I told David Axelrod, David, I will build a ballroom free of charge, at least $100 million. We'll make it the finest ballroom in the world. We'll put it someplace so it works contextually, magnificently. It'll be done. We'll have committees set up. I never heard back. It's, it's just one of just thousands of things.
Yeah. They just don't like the man. They just don't like him. He's getting ready to build this beautiful ballroom for the American people. He's getting ready to give us his gift. Like, this is truly his gift. This is where President Trump shines. And he was willing to do it with any president. Like, right now, I wouldn't even been able to fathom that we were just using tents. I didn't even think about that, but that's how President Trump brain works. And apparently they had plans to do a ballroom and it never happened. So this is not President Trump's brainchild. They just don't like that he's actually going to do it and prove to them that it can be done. I felt like the outrage about this, I can't even understand it, y'all. Like, I seriously can't understand it. Let's look at the plans for this ballroom. So the White House, let's look at it real quick. Let's look at it. So just so you guys know, right? This is, let me get a rendering that's really good for y'all to see. Because everybody's showing all the demolition, but this is really important that y'all see this. because they'll show you something and you're like, oh my God, this is really bad. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, so looking at ballroom expansion, y'all. They're showing you that he's ruining the White House. Look at all of this. And this one building is what he's getting ready to. Let me make it bigger. Look, I can't. But yeah, so this one little piece right here, this East Wing expansion, is what they're essentially taking down and making into something beautiful. So right here, I wish I could blow it up, y'all. But right here where that whole block is, that's going to be where the ballroom is going to be. And they're literally tearing down just a small piece of the East Wing, which is First Lady's office. And First Lady, I'm sure, has no problem. Also, they can make something beautiful like this. Like, how awesome would that be for us to have this? And we're not even paying, y'all, we're not even paying. He got a whole bunch of donors, people to give to it, which is just like that. Who would even think about that, y'all? Like, who would even think about that? To say, hey, we can build something that's beautiful. I want my White House to be as beautiful and as like royal and grand as anybody's president's house. And he's not even using taxpayer dollars. It's going to cost, like he said, like 200 million. He's going to try to come under budget. It is going to be able to hold at like 650 people. Like, how awesome is that for people across the world to be able to gather there? Like, that is awesome. And for us to like be in an outrage, it just shows that a lot of this outrage is just manufactured. It's just manufactured. They're showing you, making you emotional, showing you all the demolitions. But look, like, people are just saying, oh my God, look at the demolition. A demolition has to happen in order for them to create something amazing, right? And so this is, hold on, you'll see it like here. Oh, you can see it better here. Let me show you this, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Like, I just appreciate President Trump. I really believe that we don't deserve him. You know, I really do. I'm to the point where I just think that we don't deserve him. Look how beautiful this is, right? So the ballroom, the new ballroom expansion is going to be right here. Y'all see it? So that yellow right here is where the new ballroom expansion is going to be, and it's going to look like this. And so it's going to cut down all these trees and all that. I mean, like, how beautiful. We really don't deserve President Trump. We really don't. And then he got it to be paid for by donors and friends. Like, that's freaking awesome. I mean, I just the big beautiful bill with the big beautiful ballroom. Like, I am super super awesome. Like, I'm just in awe of President Trump sometimes because he thinks of things that I don't, like, I would have never thought about. But how freaking awesome is that? And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Barack Hussein Obama, he didn't build a ballroom. He didn't build a East Wing. He didn't build anything. He tore down to build a basketball court. Like, y'all, he tore down to, oh, shoot. I posted that, y'all. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let me show y'all. This meme is hilarious. Hold on. Let me see if I can go to Google. Meme meme about President renovations. Y'all, let me see if I can get it. Oh, the presidential renovations, and it shows like all the things that all the presidents did, and Barack Obama built a basketball court. Hold on, let me see, y'all. Dang, I can't find it, but I'll find it, y'all. But it's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious. It's so true to show that like Barack Obama builds a basketball court and nobody says anything, and then President Trump wants to build a 650 capacity ballroom, and people got problems. Y'all, I'm telling you, the man can't do nothing right. He can't do anything right for y'all. And I'm so glad he's over y'all. I'm so glad he's over y'all. He don't even try no more. Y'all don't deserve him. Y'all do not deserve him. Anywho, okay. So, y'all. Ooh. We gotta talk about two things, and I promise I'm gonna just be out your way, y'all. We gotta talk about two things. What's going on with Candace, y'all? Candace is going to try to back out of this, y'all. She's going to try. I don't know how she. I don't know how she backs out of this. I don't. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Candace is crazy, y'all. I think Candace is completely out of line. Like I think for her to try and say this, hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me make sure I get it. Hold on. For her to try to like get out of this, I don't know how she gets out of this. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up, y'all. Accuses Fed. Okay. Candace don't. Okay, here we go. Candace is crazy, y'all. Candace, let me tell you this. I wouldn't say that she's crazy, right? I'm not going to say that Candace is crazy. What I will say is Candace has been hanging around Kanye for way too long. Candace needs to stay away from Kanye. Like what is sis gaining from this? Seriously. What is she gaining from this? Y'all listen to this. I don't know how she gonna back herself out of this. Listen.
My heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday, bro. If they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely told you.
So her saying that they give you a boulevard and a holiday after they unalive you, right? Essentially. She's going to say, well, I didn't say President Trump. But in the video, she's saying that Charlie Kirk gave a lot of his life to President Trump, and for them to basically betray him has made her lose all her faith in politics. For her, she doesn't believe in it. But Candace has been the number one betrayer. I mean, like, you can go back to her betrayal of President Trump, when she accused him of being too old to understand what vaccines mean, and then her campaigning with Vivek Ramaswamy after President Trump was so kind to her and platformed her. She has betrayed Donald Trump Jr. She has betrayed Charlie Kirk. She is like the number one betrayer. And for her to be talking about President Trump betrayed Charlie Kirk and the feds, like, I just think that it's definitely attention seeking. If she did think this, she wouldn't be walking around in her merry old way, because it's very dangerous. And so for her to feel like she can just spew off these things and accuse people of things, it just shows that she lives in a very safe country. Because in a country that was dangerous, in a country that is capable of unaliving one of the most prominent figures in America, that she wouldn't be allowed to walk around like saying these types of things. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you guys, I was thinking a lot about this, and my theory has evolved, but I am wondering if it was Democrats that got um Tyler Robinson to do the deed. The reason why I say that is Charlie Kirk was very, very instrumental in ballot chasing and stopping liberals from cheating. And I think that they had a motive in wanting him unalived, because they were not able to cheat in the 2024 election like they did in the 2022 and the 2020 election, because of people like Charlie Kirk, people like Steven Crowder, who had started ballot chasing and getting addresses. They couldn't have all of those dead and immigrants vote. They couldn't have all those paper ballots that they did before, because of Charlie Kirk. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, what if they put Tyler Robinson up to doing this? Because Charlie Kirk was so smart and caught hold of the ballot chasing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. But for her to just say, like, the feds have a reason for wanting Charlie Kirk unalive, she's just being reckless out her mouth. But it just shows that she lives in a safe country, that she can be reckless out her mouth like that. Because if she really believed that the feds were capable of what she's accusing them for, she would be a lot more silent. She would sit her little black ass down somewhere. She would. She would. She would be over in a corner in a bunker somewhere. But she knows that she can say that in this blessed country. She knows she can say that. It's just so annoying. Candace Owens, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere with your English husband. How about y'all go over there? Your green card husband. Like, it's just annoying. Ugh. Try say that over in England. You wish you can say that stuff over in England. You can't. You can only say that kind of stuff over here. So back up off my president. Back up off the Fed, sis. Anyway. Okay. All right. So okay, I promise I'm gonna leave y'all alone. The last thing I want to show y'all is, oh God, Marvin Winans. Okay. We got to talk about this, and I think that this is super important. And I want to weigh in on it. Only because we talk about the black church, right? Marvin Winans is catching a whole bunch of heat. Hold on. Marvin Winans said what? Hold on. Marvin Winans rebuke offering. Okay. Here we go. All right. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear?
Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Okay. Let's stop there. Let me give you some context. Marvin Winans has a church and they were giving toward their building fund, right? And in the giving instructions, so he gave instructions, y'all, about how to give. He's going to call up. So you do 1,001. So another person gives you 1,000. And it was just a whole bunch of confusing mess. Okay. Stupid black church stuff. I mean, it did black church, white churches just give, right? Black churches got to have a whole kind of ceremony. You come up. Who can I have 10 people that give 1,000 or one person, which is fine. I'm with it. I go to a black church. I'm with it. I'm not hating on it, but it's just a whole bunch of mess, right? So he has said anybody who is giving 1,001 come up now. And he said he was going to do it like in order. Like, so 3,001. Like he was going to do it in order. He was the first partaker of it, which is nice, right? I think he gave like 6,000 and something. Like, so he gave a lot, right? So it wasn't about the money for me at all, right? So they keep, like talking about the money and saying that he rebuked her for the money. Listen to what he said.
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Okay.
With the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
That's not what he asked you to do. Okay. So he was true when he said that's not what because he wasn't mad that she gave 1,200. So people were saying, oh my God, why did he say that? He rebuked her for 1,200. He didn't rebuke her for 1,200. What he was rebuking her for or telling her she didn't do right is she came up at the wrong time. Y'all, only in a black church that you can do this. I mean, seriously. Only in a black church. It's not about the money, y'all. We want to give to churches. I wish I could have given 2,000 or 1,200 or whatever. So this lady, Roberta, comes up there with her son or grandson, whoever, and she's giving out of, just out of the goodness of her heart. And she does the saying, and he says, that's not what I asked you to do. The underlying key for me is my husband is a worship pastor, y'all. So he said, Black people don't know how to talk to people. I mean, they don't. Like this would not be an issue if Black folks knew how to talk to people. And unfortunately, they can't learn in the church because this is how pastors and leaders and bishops are talking to people. I can't imagine being over a church and someone comes and gives you $1,200 out of turn. She didn't lie. It wasn't like she was trying to be seen and said, I have, $3,000 and she didn't really have $3,000. She really didn't understand the instructions. She came up when she wasn't supposed to come up. But at the end of the day, she was still giving her $1,200. Sir, move on. You don't need to rebuke her. You don't need to say, oh, I didn't ask you to do that, or saying out loud. Like, Black folks don't know how to talk to people. And it's clearly where they learn how to talk to people, which is from the church. And this is how they talk to people, even when the person is trying to give you $1,200. The person is trying to give you $1,200 and you still don't know how to talk to them. And what's so sad is that this lady, Roberta, has been a member of the church for a long time. She gets out and defends her pastor. I defend my pastor. I got out of line at the wrong time. Ma'am, it's not about you getting out of line. It's not about him saying what it's not about him saying, hey, you didn't follow instructions. It was how he said it. He was very nasty. He was very nasty in how he said it. He could have simply said, hey guys, the $1,200, if you're giving less than $2,000, thank you. However, I'm going to get to you because it's a lot more of you guys. So I'm going to get to you. Let me get the people who are giving $2,000 or more right now. And it would have not been a big deal. It wouldn't have been a big deal. It wouldn't have been no news. It would have been anything. You can't show me a white church where you're allowed to talk to people like that, especially when they're giving you money. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to talk to people. Nobody is mad that she's giving money to the church. God bless her. Because you give money to the church, God will bless her. But sir, why are you talking to your sheep like that? In front of her kids or her grandkids or whoever that child was? Like, it's just weird. It's weird that Black leaders can talk to people like that. And it's even more weird that Black people just allow them to talk to them like that. Oh, well, I guess I deserve it. And then she goes on the news and defends her past. My man, baby. She defends her pastor. Period, point blank. And what I would say to her is, ma'am, it's not about what your pastor said. It was how he said it. And nobody should be allowed to talk to anybody like that publicly, especially when that person is giving you money. Simple. I don't know how else to say it. You shouldn't be allowed to talk to anybody like that anyway. And you shouldn't be allowed to talk to anybody like that when they give you money. Baby, she got on there and defended her my man. Hold on. Let me show you. Baby.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia.
Black folks are going to
It hit me hard.
bad
It did.
behavior. They don't
Your
care
misunderstanding
where it
that's
comes
gone viral on social media.
On Sunday, Pastor Marvin Winans hosted a video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction because let me clearly state that Pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing. I was calling because
Gave instruction.
Okay. First of all, y'all, I listened to the instructions and the instructions were confusing me. It was confusing to me. Me and my husband, we tried to figure it out. The instructions were confusing. So I get why she was confused. She's probably like, oh my God, like, I think I come up. I don't know. Do I give 1,001? Whatever. She's an older lady. I love her for defending her pastor, y'all. I probably would defend my pastor too, because if my pastor was getting a whole bunch of flack because of me, I would feel really, really bad, right? But at the same time, Roberta, sis, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. You can't talk. You can't talk to people like that without. He needs correction. So the way that he corrected you, he needs correction. I'm sorry. I'm kind of glad it went viral because you can't talk to people like that. But she is my man.
On the lines to get into.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments. And we had someone that had given out of before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
No, it was.
Roberta told me Pastor Winans personally apologized to her. She's been a member of Perfecting Church since 2013 and has given faithfully over the years and will continue resuming on the new Perfecting Church.
She is the evidence of what we have accepted in the Black community, y'all. We've accepted leaders talking to people like that. Another thing we've accepted is people showing up late. So you show up late and it's okay, 30 minutes late to a birthday party. We just accept the scrap and the crumbs, the crap from each other. And then you be mad when white folks decide that they're not going to accept it. I mean, seriously. I'm praying for Bishop Winans. I like him. I like him as a person, like him as a bishop, but I think a larger conversation should be had amongst him and other leaders in the Black church. You're not allowed to talk to people like this. You're just not. You're just not. It's not right. It's y'all, it doesn't feel good. And I feel bad for this older lady who clearly has Stockholm syndrome. Oh, my pastor, I didn't mean it. I came out of line. I came to give you money, but I didn't come at the right time. It's not right, y'all. It's not right. It's not right at all. But anywho, I am so glad you choose to watch me, hang out with me today, y'all. We had a great time. I am so super excited. I thank you guys for the super chats. Let me read a few of your comments. You said Candace too masculine. Ryan, you said Candace is too masculine for Kirk. I really think that they probably explored a relationship and it probably didn't work out. And she still has love for him, but she needs to get a life. Like she really does. I mean, Erica is his wife, sis. Chill out. Ryan, what else you said? This is the same clown who turned Whitney Houston's homecoming service into a prosperity gospel. So yeah, true. I'm not mad at prosperity gospel. I don't like poverty gospel, so I'll take it. Let me see. Thank Rebel Without a Reason. You said she probably put herself in financial distress just to give that money. Where does that money go? Did the news do a story on how that church's money was spent and pay zero tax, and the pay zero taxes scam? Yeah, well, I feel I understand why churches are allowed to pay no taxes. I do think that the churches, especially the Black churches of today, have sold out, and we've got to hold them accountable. Black folks have got to hold these churches accountable. So I'm with you. But yeah, so you said God is not the author of confusion. Yes, Ryan. All right. Anyway, but thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you, Rebel Without a Reason. God bless y'all. Thank you so much for watching me. And until next time, peace.